Welcome back, it's Melanie, or She Shed Scrappers. So today I am back with another one-page layout using the Shimelle Never Grow Up collection. I have 3 photos of family and friends trying to do a pyramid, and I loved the bright green grass, and I had that green paper. I actually think that might be from her field trip collection, but really wanted to kind of go with that green theme. I also wanted to bring in some pattern papers. So what I'm going to do, you can see I'm going to kind of stagger my photos down the middle there. I wanted to just kind of add a few strips of paper on the outside edges of the photos, or of the paper there. So that pretty floral paper is going to be kind of the main one. And then the back side was actually that kind of aqua polka dotted paper. And so I did cut smaller strips of that. I initially put it on the inside edge of the floral paper, and then kind of second guess myself and decide that I am going to end up adding a second strip on the outside edges. So I cut the exact same width and add that to the outside edges of the floral paper to kind of, I guess, close that off. I kind of place my papers back in the middle then and decide that the inside polka dotted papers cover up too much of that green. The whole reason I used that green background was to kind of accent the green grass in my photos. So I eventually ripped that up, but in the meantime I am trying to find a background paper to mat the middle photo with a colored paper as well. And I found a 6x8 paper that kind of was the same blue and brought in some other colors, and so I decided to use that one. I was so thankful that when I ripped up that middle polka dotted paper that, you know, nothing ripped that wasn't supposed to. So I was happy those came up without a problem. I am also going to pop this photo, that middle one, up on some foam tape, again, just to give the layout a little bit of dimension. Just kind of, and I guess maybe draw your focus into that middle photo. There's a couple ways, and I mention them often in my videos, but to kind of draw attention to the photo, one is matting it more than like the rest of the photos, and or popping it up on foam tape, and a lot of times I will do both. So embellishing this one, I wasn't really sure where to add the clusters. I knew I wanted to use that Never Grow Up ephemera piece because on the bottom row is actually my dad and my aunt. I think they might be the only 2 adults. I was there trying to help the kids kind of climb up the pyramid there, but I just thought it was perfect. Never grow up. Always have, you know, that fun spirit about you. And so I knew I wanted to use that, and kind of just had to figure out how to embellish the rest or around that. There was a little green like speech bubble, and so I wanted to use that too so I could journal just a little bit. There are some wonderful flowers and floral pieces in this collection, so I went through and kind of picked some of those out. Kind of stuck with the yellow theme, and just tried to kind of layer them behind the bigger pieces. I do end up using a couple of different floral pieces, and actually I do move that up a little bit because I think they're supposed to be dandelions. On the bottom right, I have them placed there, and I just thought it was so cute. I loved how it was like for the whole flower, you know, from like the bottom up. It was kind of like that cluster. And so I wanted to incorporate that and thought, you know, that bottom right section would be the perfect place to add that. And so I do kind of have, you know, that, I guess, triangle with my embellishments there. adding some of the single flowers and then adding my own kind of leaves, greenery behind it. I love when collections have that, where you can kind of piece together your own embellishments. Now that I have the base of my clusters done, I kind of had to play around with what I wanted to add. I added a couple of these snails to the layout I did, I believe, last week using this collection, but just didn't love, any of the placements for it there. I have the sticker sheet and the project pad as well, and so there are some different flowers or butterflies. So I did end up adding a butterfly to the bottom cluster just to kind of have a third embellishment down there. I did end up adding a little foam star. It was that same kind of aqua teal color down at the bottom. And then here on the left hand side, I did end up adding a larger floral. I covered up some of the other colors on it. But really wanted that blue to kind of pop, and then added a few of like the cardstock smaller flowers there as well to kind of fill in some of the spaces and add some layering. I did go into the stash and get the wood buttons out. That embellishment pack had like these silver sequins, and I was just about done with them, and so I decided to go ahead and add them to this layout as well. So I only have a few of the wood buttons left and a few of the sequins. I was actually able to combine that with the like enamel shapes and get rid of a piece of packaging. So that was exciting. I'm dwindling down with this collection, which is always fun, especially when it's been in your stash for as long as this has been in mine. But that is going to finish off this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.